turn off your gas and electricity and quickly evacuate from areas vulnerable to flash flooding.
What should we do if we are already outside?
Evacuate to a safe place, away from construction sites, underground spaces, and areas prone to frequent flooding. If you're driving, do not stop the car. Instead, slowly drive through the flooded area without stopping.
What should we do once the rain stops?
When going into buildings that have been submerged, do not touch electrical facilities and make sure to ventilate, as there is a risk of gas leakage.
We should also reduce preventable damages and prepare for disasters ahead of time by following safety guidelines.
That is correct. You can receive real-time safety information through the Disaster Safety Information mobile app, 안전 디딤돌.
Thank you for all the great information. Remember, your safety is everyone's safety. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어방송.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
It has been hustle and bustle for most businesses and business owners this past week. Even for those that are not directly involved in industries that we normally associate with a holiday rush. I mean, produce vendors, restaurateurs, delivery workers, they're always busy. But, we're all impacted somehow. Well, I'm sure many of you will be trying to tie up loose ends before the onslaught of the holiday festivities, whether you are staying put at home, traveling domestically, or even going abroad. So, are you ready to face and hopefully enjoy this long Chuseok holiday? I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Thursday, October 2nd on BEFM 부산 영어 방송. Good morning, Wavers. Welcome to our program on this Thursday. That day, it's here. Yes, the day before the actual long Chuseok holiday kicks off. Whether you are planning to stay home, travel domestically, but especially for those of you who are planning to go to airports for those flights, well, you're going to have to plan to get there a little earlier. Unionized workers across 15 airports in the country, they have launched an indefinite strike starting yesterday. So some 2,000 workers participated in the strike yesterday, including those in custodial, traffic management, firefighting, and airport maintenance positions. So far, it hasn't affected the flight schedules or operations, but there are concerns about what happens if the strike goes on for a long time. The Korea Airport Workers Federation members held a rally yesterday in Incheon and Gimpo airports demanding the hire of additional personnel. A shift system involving 4 groups working 12 hours and improvements for affiliate company workers. Union representatives said that the expansion at the Incheon International Airport has exponentially increased their workload and said that, you can't achieve some things unless you fight. Well, the airport corporation has dispatched additional personnel to these positions, and there haven't been many issues reported, except for some delays in the trash pickup. But the challenge starts now as the record number of people are expected to use the country's airports at over the previous record of 5.26 million nationwide. And by the way, Gimhae International Airport is expected to be at its busiest today with over 34,000 international passengers milling in to start their holidays early, with 186 international flights scheduled just for today. So you're definitely going to want to go to the airport early. Get there early. And if possible, you can do all your pre-check-ins and bio-registration, bio-등록 to cut down on your time. That's what we are advising. And however you're going to spend your Chuseok, I hope you are ready to enjoy it. All right, it's time for a text topic. So are you ready for this? How early or late have you arrived at the airport for a flight? Have you ever missed a flight? Whether it's a direct flight, whether it's a layover, stopover, or any other mode of transportation. 자, 나는 여행할 때 공항 몇 시간 전까지 가봤다. 비행기, 기차, 버스 놓친 적 있다. I'm sure you have plenty of stories to share with us about missed, whether it's flights or, I miss the subway train all the time. Right when I get there, Kyle. But we're talking about longer travel, maybe on the KTX, whatever it is. We want to hear your stories. Send them into BFM's live stream, live chat on YouTube. Go to the YouTube platform and type in BEFM or Busan 영어 방송 to find us. And you can subscribe, log in, and chat with our other waivers. From your phone, pound 9050, 샵 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free via Kakao Talk. Same thing there that you got to find us first, BEFM, Busan 영어 방송. Add us as a friend, and then you can send in your messages, photos too. The ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan. There are several ways. First up, if you're in Busan on the radio, 90.5 or 103.3 FM, depending on where you are in Busan, we're streaming live on YouTube right now. You can watch again at your leisure. We're available on the BEFM app and also the Papang app. Free to download, easy to use. Looking ahead to our Thursday morning together, we have Ask Dr. Ryu with Dr. Ryu Sang-hyo. In hour number 2, we have Vasana coming in for a Buzz Breakdown. For our special interview, you may have heard about this because we mentioned it briefly, but the U.S. government shutdown, that is big news stateside. Why did this happen? What's going to happen? What services will be affected? We're going to find out with our expert in hour number 2. I'll be back with news overview. It's time for News Overview. President Lee Jae-myung and OpenAI's Sam Altman discussed South Korea's AI future. President Lee Jae-myung met with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman yesterday and discussed expanded partnership in AI as South Korea seeks to become an AI hub in Asia. Court turns down a review of arrest legality for Kwon Sung-dong and Han Hak-ja. The Seoul Central District Court turned down the review of legality requests for People Power Party lawmaker Kwon Sung-dong and Unification Church leader Han Hak-ja, saying that the requests don't have grounds based on suspect statements and case records. Government document storage system destroyed in data center fire. The government's cloud repository known as G Drive was among the 96 systems that completely burned down in the National Information Resources Service fire, wiping out work documents of the country's civil servants. South Korea's export jumps to all-time high in September. South Korea's exports rose by 12.7% in September from the previous year from strong performance in the semiconductor sector, reaching an all-time high. U.S. government shuts down. The U.S. government has shut down for the first time since 2018 after the Senate failed to agree on a last-minute funding bill, bringing many government services to a temporary halt. And this was News Overview. It's time for Now Busan. We have Sejin in the studio with us. Let's say hi first. Good morning.
What a wonderful morning.
Yes. So we're almost there.
Yes.
Speaking of travel, have you ever missed a flight or a train or anything?
I've got one.
Okay.
Not many times. One story was when I was in Norway.
Oh.
So for some reason, I thought the airport would be one in Oslo, like in capital. So
like one major airport.
Yeah. So I couldn't think that there are other airports in other cities. So I was there, and then on time I was my way, and then someone happened to I happened to be in a wrong airport. So I was meant to be a different airport. So I was like, this is nightmare. And then, but there's a guy next to me who were on the same page as me.
Oh.
So we are on the same boat, and we are figuring out. So anyway, we are ended up missing
The flight?
flight.
Oh, because you were at the wrong airport. So
And
what
it-
happened afterwards?
So it was a flight to Paris, and so I bought again, the double price.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
You had to pay extra, double
Yeah.
the price?
Yes.
Oh, that's so painful.
I know.
So did you learn your lesson? Check your airport?
Yeah, check my airport and
Yes.
terminal as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
double check, triple check. Yes. Well, it was a very expensive lesson, but I'm sure you won't make that mistake again. Be at the right airport.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our first story. We want the local angle of the government computer system shutdown. So what's the latest?
Busan City rushed to inspect its own data center after the big fire in Daejeon paralyzed government computer systems. According to the city, it conducted an emergency inspection of servers, batteries, and other IT systems at the City Hall data center on the
Yes.
29th of last month. They had already done a routine check back in August, but this time they did an extra inspection just to be on the safe side. And the good news is they found no safety problems.
So how come?
Now the reason they are a bit more relaxed is that its data center does not use lithium-ion batteries that cause a fire in Daejeon.
Okay.
Instead, they use lead-acid batteries, which are a lot less likely to just ignite on their own. Plus, all of their batteries were replaced after 2022, so there are no aging issues or run out either.
Yes.
In total, they've got 79 systems in that data center, but none of them are the top grade.
Well, we want to know and remind our listeners of the cause of the fire at the National Information Resources Service.
It's thought to have started with lithium-ion batteries inside the uninterruptible power supply system, or UPS.
Okay.
Is a kind of backup power that provides emergency power
Yes.
when electricity is disrupted. And the fire broke out while they were replacing batteries that had exceeded their 10-year lifespan. Busan City is double-checking everything by the second to preempt any issues.
Yes.
As of 3 p.m. yesterday, 101 of 646 government systems nationwide were back online. That's 15.6%.
Yeah, so as they've been announcing, I guess we're going to have to be extra patient. All right, thanks for the update. So what's next on the agenda?
Busan Urban Roof Train Express, or BuTX project, is now on track.
Okay.
On October 1st, Busan City confirmed that BuTX project passed a feasibility review, and which means now it can go ahead as a private investment project. The review began in November 2023 after Hana Financial Group put in its proposal in September 2023.
Yes, but this is quite the milestone though, right?
In fact, Mayor Park Hyung-jun gave a presentation at the feasibility review in Sejong back in August, stressing why the project is needed. BuTX is a high-speed train that's going to run from Gadeok Airport through a bunch of key stops like Myeongji, Hadan, Northport, Bujeon, Santam City, and all the way to Osiria. And it's going to use eco-friendly hydrogen trains in deep tunnels. So from Gadeok Airport to Northport is 18 minutes, and to Osiria, just 13 minutes.
Wow, so that's actually really quick, that travel time. How about the fare? How much is it going to cost us?
They are expecting the fare to be about 5,000 won for the whole stretch. It will take about 6 years to build and cost roughly 4.77 trillion won. Once it's up and running, the city says BuTX will become an innovative means of transport, connecting the entire Busan area into a 15-minute living zone.
Right. So it does sound like a real game changer for our city. What's the plan from here?
So from here, the city is going to move on to environmental and that transport transfer are all convenient. They're planning to put out a public notice for third-party proposals by the end of the year.
Okay.
And then next year, they will seek council approval and review a private investment. After that, they will push through agreement and pick the operators and aim to have BuTX ready right when Gadeok New Airport opens.
Ah, yes. What about the wider impact of this?
BuTX stations, they're going to be like complex hubs to boost synergy with nearby areas.
Okay.
Mayor Park Kyung-jun said we will expand BuTX to Gyeongnam and Ulsan. So Busan, Ulsan, and Gyeongnam become a 30-minute living zone. He has asked the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport to include this in the 5th National Railway Plan. And those discussions are still going on.
Oh, I like that idea. First, the 15-minute, kind of friendly city kind of idea. Now they're trying to extend it for the whole area. So we look forward to that. All right, now we're going to turn our attention to healthcare. Busan's plan for Chuseok's emergencies that might pop up. So what do we have?
Busan City says that it will put emergency medical measures in place for the Chuseok holiday.
Okay.
The city will run emergency medical situation rooms at city, district, and county level to track which hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies are open, and will subsidize operating costs for clinics and pharmacies that do open.
And so which hospitals will be open? We need to know. This is really important.
38 emergency centers, including Donga University Hospital and Inja University Haeundae Baek Hospital, will keep open 24/7 as usual. To ensure smooth treatment for critical cases, 29 of those centers will have supervisors monitoring operations daily.
Okay.
Public health centers will also take part, with 38 major hospitals such as Busan Medical Center are running emergency rooms 24 hours a day and offer selective outpatient services.
Yes, this is really useful. What about for children, though?
To prevent gaps in pediatric care, two Moonlight Children's Hospital, also known as 99 Seoul Pediatric and Youth Clinic in Dongdae, and Kumjong Pediatric and Youth Clinic in Kumjong District will open on Chuseok Day. For high-risk pregnancies and newborns, Inja University Busan Baek Hospital and Haeundae Baek Hospital will maintain 24-hour emergency response.
Yes. And so it seems like, everyone is covered from whether, you're a baby or if you have a baby to people who might be older, right?
Exactly. People can check which clinics and pharmacies are open through Health and Welfare Call Center at 129 and 119 General Situation Room or District Health Centers. Info is also on Busan City's website, the eGen emergency portal, and the smartphone app 응급똑똑.
Yes. So thanks for the great information because this is, something always pops up during Chuseok holiday, unfortunately. Yes. All right. Let's move on. I hear you have some cultural heritage news for us.
Yes. Busan City announced that the wooden seated 클리까바보다 싸바, 목조지장보살좌상 will be officially designated as a Busan tangible cultural heritage. The statue is housed at Sangnyeong-deokwa Temple in Dongle District.
Yes. So we would need to know more about this. Like, who made this?
It was crafted by the monk sculptor Jagyu and serves as an important piece of understanding the trends in Buddhist sculpture during the late 17th century Joseon dynasty, as well as for studying Buddhist social history.
And what makes it so special, sets it apart from others?
It's known for its district features, square face, narrowing at the chin, prominent ears, facial features gathered beneath the broad forehead, robes with inner and outer layers crossing as a band across the abdomen, and two broad hams spread forward over the legs.
Ooh, so lots of detailing. It's very meticulous, right?
Indeed. It's thought to have been made between 1677 and 1688. An official said that with this designation, Busan now counts 576 cultural heritage items.
Yes.
And promised to keep actively finding and sharing valuable cultural assets with the public.
I see. Well, thank you so much for going over all the local news and, of course, wishing you a beautiful Chuseok and long holiday and whatnot. And we'll check in with you real soon.
Thank you so much. You too.
All right, everybody. This was Sejin, and I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning. Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
It's now 7:19. Here is your traffic report. First up, let's talk about the Dongso overpass. It is congested from Hwangyang Ramp to the old Gaegeum toll gate. It's backed up on Nakdong-Namno from Gangsa Police Station to Seongsan Three-Way intersection. There's also traffic on Luno-Samsung-dero from Myeongji Underpass to Shino Bridge. And it's looking slow on Gwanmun-dero from Pangnam Tunnel to Baegang Tunnel. Currently, it is 20 degrees Celsius under clear skies with a daytime high. It's expected to go up to 27 today. Clouds are expected to roll in by the afternoon with rain forecast for Gyeongnam starting tonight. And you can expect light rain tomorrow. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for top stories, and we're joined by Haley. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm here. I'm here. Mentally, I don't know, but physically, I'm sitting here.
Oh, so you mentioned lots of beige.
Yeah, lots of beige. I'm still in beige. It's a
love it,
different type of beige from what I was wearing yesterday. I think I have 5 more beige items that I've bought. But yeah, here we are.
But it's fall. Fall is beige.
It is fall.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we want to hear your stories. Have you? How early do you get to the airport, or how late? I can't imagine you being late.
As early as humanly possible.
Like how many
and this
hours?
is a family trip. Well, it's at least 3, and I refuse to listen to anyone who says otherwise. I'm like, really?
3 hours?
Like,
Okay.
you like living life on edge? I don't. And then for domestic, I don't know. It's like I feel physically unwell thinking that I'm going to get to an airport like not 2 hours early. So even for domestic, I'm like, I'm gonna be there for 2. Yeah, I'll go to a cafe. They've got stuff. But I did miss a train because my flight was late because I was flying back from Germany.
That's right.
And then there was like a thunderstorm, and you can't take off in a thunderstorm. So the flight was 2 hours late. So I had to miss my KTX train, but I was able to get the one next to it. But I usually get to the airport before the counter opens. So I just kind of But
you get there before the employees?
yeah. And I'm like, what are you people doing? But I'm happy to report that
Yes.
there's always a handful of people who will just leave their bags, and only in Korea, will leave their like suitcases in line. So we hang, the early crew hangs like we do right now on Morning Wave.
Yes. We like early mornings. All right, we're going to jump into our top stories right now. South Korea and the U.S. held their first working group for visas in the wake of that immigration bust and detention at the Georgia Battery plant.
Right. So that first meeting took place in Washington, D.C., and this was attended by officials, for example, from the South Korean side, from the Foreign Ministry, representatives from the Trade, Industry, and Energy Ministry, as well as the SMEs Ministry. From the U.S., the U.S. State Department, Department of Homeland Security, Commerce, and Labor Departments. So in the meeting, the two sides apparently clarified what activities would be permitted under the B1 visa in accordance with South Korean corporations' activities in the U.S. and their demand. So the Foreign Ministry said that the U.S. officials reaffirmed that the B1 visa may be used for, quote, installations of equipment that's been purchased overseas, services, and their repair. So basically what a lot of South Koreans do on their business trips to the U.S.
Yes.
also that the same activities may be done under the ESTA or the ESTA. In a U.S. State Department's press release, they emphasize South Korea as a major investor to the U.S. and the important role that these skilled workers play, and they will guarantee the success of such investments. The two sides also agreed to set up a dedicated desk at the U.S. Embassy in South Korea for visa communications for corporations. The Foreign Ministry said that this desk will launch within October, with details to follow via the U.S. Embassy's website.
Okay.
But I do have to throw in an addendum with the U.S. government shutdown. Non-essential employees are on what's called furlough, which is basically unpaid leave.
Yes.
So this timeline, we don't know. And we'll hear from, of course, our expert, but that's anyone's guess. In any case, for a longer-term fundamental solution, though, South Korea demanded there's need for more fundamental changes to the system itself in order for South Korean firms to really successfully carry out these investments.
Yes.
The U.S. side responded, keep in mind that these are representatives from the Trump administration. In order for these fundamental legal changes to happen, that would require congressional approval. Well, I mean, right now, is anything going to get past Congress? Again, we'll have to see.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for giving us the latest on that. And now we need to get some updates on the recovery from the National Information Resources Service, that fire.
Right. So as of yesterday afternoon, the system recovery rate was at 15.6% or 101 out of 647. I did check the Interior Ministry blog because their website is down. They do have a PDF file of a comprehensive list of the recovery systems that have been recovered. They didn't have the full rate, the full number, the bottom line. So I didn't have time to count all 600 and some of them.
Yes.
But the current rate is a little higher than the one I just gave you.
Sure.
The Central Disaster Authority said that they have also secured alternative methods for almost half of the unrecovered systems. That again is available via the Interior Ministry blog. 행안부 블로그. The police yesterday booked 4 people, including an official at the National Information Resources Service, 2 individuals from the company that was in charge of switching out the batteries when the fire happened, and 1 official from the company in charge of overseeing this entire project.
Yes, and the thing is this isn't the first time that these kind of like level 1 services have experienced errors or mishaps.
Right, so it is the first time of such an extent. However, over 100 service disruptions or errors on level 1 systems have happened under the National Information Data Service.
Right.
By the way, these level 1 systems are services directly linked to our everyday lives, including the post office site, the Government 24 website, mobile ID, and home tax. So according to the Information Resources Service and released by Democratic Party lawmaker Wi Sung-gun, there have been 112 system disruptions from January of last year to September 7th of this year. And there's also been 340 system errors for level 2 services. Level 1 and 2 are considered both important systems to our daily lives.
Yes.
The biggest cause was overload from excessive demand. So basically, lawmaker we called for an active disaster recovery system, basically infrastructural redundancy to back up this data to be able to provide sustainable public services.
Indeed, we need this. Well, moving on, we've reported on multiple drug busts, but there has been the first ever bust of an ingredient used for drugs found in South Korea.
Right. So the police busted a group suspected of exporting large amounts of what's called gamma-butyrolactone, GBL, which is a chemical that is converted to GHB. That's a date rape drug, or in Korean, it's colloquially called 물봉. So according to Gyeonggi Nambu Police, they apprehended a woman in her 30s, a man in his 20s, apparently they're in common law marriage, and 3 more individuals who are either family or friends of the women. So this group allegedly, they ran a beauty supply export company and allegedly smuggled out a ton of GBL across 72 occasions. By the way, a ton of GBL is worth 15.9 billion won, enough for 8 million people.
Oh my gosh. So question, how did a beauty supply store allegedly turn into kind of this drug smuggling operation?
It's like an American show, like Narcos. What is happening? So her beauty company, it used to export eyelash or wig glue remover.
Okay.
And by the way, this substance, GBL, is used in removers as well. It's that same chemical. But as her business was going down, she came across a drug dealer who was disguised as a buyer. And through this individual, she learned that there's big demand for GBL, raw ingredient not only for glue remover, but also for drugs. And things just kind of snowballed from there. This group allegedly ran their operation for about a year. They got busted. This was an extensive international cooperation from an Australian border police because they also allegedly smuggled GBL to Australia. But the South Korean police worked with not only Australia, but also the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, USDA agents, and made this bust.
Right. I mean, we've heard about other drug busts and stories, but this case is pretty shocking.
Right. So two things that have been unprecedented. It is the first case where non-finished products, so not a drug itself, but the ingredient to it was smuggled out of the country. So two things, raw ingredient smuggled out, not in. And also the massive amount, enough for 8 million people. So GBL has been tentatively designated as Tier 1 drug, 1군 임시 마약류, and it raises concerns about does that mean there's a potential new market for drug ingredients? And also South Korea being a drug exporter. Right. So South Korea, by the way, we lost that drug-free status, 마약청정국 status, a long time ago, back 10 years ago. Because the threshold, according to the United Nations, is under 20 drug users for every 100,000 people. Right now, or at least last year, that figure is at double, 44.7 for every 100,000 people. And by the way, experts say this is just the tip of the iceberg because the unreported rate for South Korea's drug use is about 28 times the reported rate.
Wow.
Yes.
So,
Right.
What happened? We want to go back
to 10 years ago.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
All right. Next up, visa-free entry for Chinese group tours began. And this has also been met with a slew of fake news, though, about these visitors.
Right. So there have been these unfounded claims that the flow of visa-free entries will lead to, will cause some negative impacts in South Korea.
Yes.
So background, this temporary visa-free travel is granted to Chinese group tours. So not individuals of 3 or more people that have been put together by dedicated, so pre-designated travel agencies located in either South Korea or abroad. It's for trips that are 15 days or shorter, and that's effective until June 30th of next year.
Okay.
This came into effect the first of this month. So on the scene, reaction has been generally positive because businesses are excited. It is revenue. It is profit. The government expects that 1 million additional Chinese tourists will come to Korea, with the bulk of that demand starting this weekend as it coincides with the Chinese national holiday.
Right.
However, as you mentioned, there have been some negative comments online, and some of them are unfounded.
Yeah, so let's look into these claims and can we kind of fact check them?
Right. So interesting, kind of verging on almost conspiracy theory area. This is in line with that National Data Service Center fire because at one point you couldn't enter one of the websites that will have you enter the address of where you're staying in South Korea on the KETA site because, of course, the service disruption. And this led to dissemination or spread of false information that criminals, quote, from China could get into the country, or people will come in intending to basically overstay that 15-day period, becoming undocumented.
Okay.
So this was also a claim that was made at one of those anti-China rallies that took place in Seoul. So because, again, people who are staying in South Korea cannot write down their addresses, the authorities won't be able to track them down.
Right.
Fact check, that is false because according to the Justice Ministry, these new visa-free entrants are actually using a different system from the KETA system. So a completely different website. And again, because these individuals are entering the country via pre-approved travel agencies,
yes,
they already have their address in the system.
Okay.
And that system is running normally. So to that end, because there was prior screening, those who have a history of undocumented entry or overstaying or in immigration are not eligible for this visa-free tour program, as well as criminal history under Interpol. Some have also, second fact-checking, pointed to Malaysia as an example of a country that allegedly had to suffer suffer because of their visa-free policy. And they cited some reports of increased crime and undocumented immigration. However, local outlets, when Korean outlets fact-check this, they say they've seen positive impacts from the test period that was in last April and thus decided to extend it. And that one article that was cited about Malaysian industries crumbling because of Chinese tourists was way back from 2019.
I see. Well, thanks for fact-checking for us. So let's not have these like negative stereotypes. All right, for our last bit of news, the Taliban has shut down the internet for 48 hours in Afghanistan in the latest suppression of civil freedom.
Right. So Afghanistan under Taliban rule was under a total internet blackout that lasted for 48 hours. It is back, but this blackout was an effort to prevent immorality. So international news agencies, let's go back to the blackout. They said they've lost contact with offices in the capital, Kabul. Mobile internet, satellite TV, those were also down. Flights from Kabul airport were also suspended and disrupted, and that's according to local media reports. And I do cite media reports because the Taliban had basically denied that they had shut down the internet. Also, now they're saying that the internet is running normally. So there's that. I mean, bigger picture. People are now rejoicing the return of these online communications methods. But that affected, and it could affect in the future, individuals who are hoping for a better life, including taking classes, working online, especially heavy concentration of them women, but also men. And because this is the latest and the most severe move by the Islamist government, which had ruled the country since 2021 under their interpretation of Islamic Sharia law.
Okay.
And then this follows other moves. Earlier this month, the Taliban removed books written by women from the country's university teaching system. Again, this goes back to the morality clause, and they even banned the teaching of human rights and sexual harassment. But one of those books is titled Safety in the Chemical Laboratory. So it kind of has nothing to do with culture. So again, yes, the internet is back, but will it go out again? We'll have to see.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for going over all the top stories, of course. We'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
We are ready for a little bit of a song break. Here it is for our first song, Your Song Saved My Life by U2.
It's a Monday morning, about 4:15. You were busy dreaming, so what did you wake up for? Are you a stranger in your own life? What are you hiding behind those eyes? No one looking for you there. You know your song saved my life. I don't sing it just so I can get by. Won't you hear me when I tell you, darling, I sing it to survive. Looking for a miracle, the kind that science can't explain. The man you carry in your heart is only comfortable when he's in pain. Are you a stranger in your own life? Why are you hiding behind those eyes? Find you there, just me. You know your song saved my life. I don't sing it just so I can get by. Won't you hear me when I tell you, darling, I sing it to survive. Your song broken down.
It's time for Ask Dr. Liu. He's back in person and feeling much better, right?
Yes, thank you. I've been looking forward to this place because I don't know, it feels like home. Yes.
Well, glad that you came back home, Dr. Liu.
Thank you.
So, real quick, text topic. Have you ever missed a flight? Or have you ever missed like a train? Or have you missed anything?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yes. Whenever I was reading something, I was into something. Everything around me shuts down.
I see. Because you're concentrating so much.
That's right. So I missed a train, and also I had that kind of experience. But I almost missed my flight. But there's a big announcement, and then so that's why I was running to the gate, and then finally I was able to get a hold of that one. But yeah, it reminds me of a lot of things that happened to me.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, you're reading too much and you're concentrating.
Yeah, maybe watching something movies.
Better to do it on the flight, right? Get on the flight first.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, we're going to jump into our segment. What do you have for us today?
Okay, today I'm going to talk about 추석 명절 건강 지키기 because it's 추석, Korean 추석 is coming up on us.
Yes.
You know, it reminds me of all those kind of a really, really mayhem when I was working in the ER.
Oh no, the ER.
Yeah, it was so crowded. It was total mayhem. So one day after ER shift, when I went back home and then sleeping, I must have heard some kind of an ambulance siren passes by.
Yes.
And then my mom said that you were just sprang up in the middle of the night after hearing the siren sound, and then I sprang up in my bed and Dr. Liu 이상입니다, and then I went back to sleep.
Oh no.
So and anyhow. This Chuseok holiday season, the ER is going to be really crowded. So I'm going to share some tips how to prevent. And also I'm going to bust some myths about some first aid treatments.
This is so good. Everybody, perk up your ears.
Okay.
잘 들으세요. Okay, let's go.
Okay, as you might already know, emergency rooms see a lot of spike in case due to a few common issues like traffic accidents from long drives, and kitchen mishaps like burns and cuts, and food-related problems. So first of all, traffic accidents, because a lot of people, they want to see, they have to hit the roads to see their family, distant families, and then traffic is going to be really congested.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of congestion.
Yes, congestion.
Yeah, it reminds me of a medical term.
Oh.
Because whenever you have a stuffy nose,
nasal congestion.
Yes. Yeah. Before listening to your public announcement, I didn't know that congestion might be used. It can be used in that kind of situation.
Oh, for traffic?
Yeah. It was first time in my life. Yeah. 코가 막히다. Is it a little bit fancy way of saying I have a stuffy nose?
It sounds like it. I'm like, I have a stuffy nose. I have nasal congestion.
I have nasal congestion. Yes. Right.
Meaning things are clogged up there.
Yes, clogged up there. So please drive safely. And then also, if you feel really tired, just don't hesitate to get some shut eyes.
Oh, this is so important though. Drowsy driving, isn't it really dangerous?
Of course, it's really, really dangerous. It's way dangerous than just drive is almost as dangerous as driving under the influence.
That's what they say, yes.
Yeah, that's right. And also, food storage is really important. The weather is getting hotter, and the temperature gap during the day and in the evening is really, really wide.
Yes.
So a lot of foods are prone to go stale or
For Chuseok, there's a lot of 잡채s or 잡채, and then like 송편. I always put the S on 송편s. Like 송편하고 잡채, very common. But a lot of people I know, they kind of just leave them out, and I get like worried. Because in my family, it's like as soon as it's out, and then as soon as it like cools down, I put it in the fridge because like I am so like I'm nervous. I get nervous around like holiday time because I don't want to visit the ER.
Catherine, you're perfect right because that's the best way to keep every food at this time of year. Because we covered the salmonella the other day. You can kill salmonella with a lot of heating. Properly cooking.
Yes.
But some bacteria like staph is a 포도상구균. It's a hand bacteria. Their toxins are very very heat tolerant. So you cannot destroy that toxin. So you might get food poisoning after heating all those 잡채, 계란말이, some kind of salad. So you just cooling down and then put it in the fridge. And that's the best way to keep ward off any food poisoning.
I'm doing something right.
Yes,
Thank you.
right.
What about kitchen mishaps? Because I have sliced many a finger, not off, like 절단은 아니고요. But like, little kitchen mishaps, like little knife accidents.
Okay, ta-da! Here's my first myth question to you. Okay. If you have some kind of cuts in your fingers or some part of your body, the question goes like this.
Okay.
Using alcohol on wounds is better than washing it with water, clean water.
Ooh, which one? So you're saying clean water, like flowing water versus like an alcohol swab, which is better?
That's right.
Which one is better? That's a hard one. Okay, for burns, I put it under like cool water. And then for cuts, I use an alcohol swab. Is that incorrect?
Oh no.
It's
incorrect.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Why? It's cool water. Running water is better?
Yeah, running water is better because there are a lot of disinfectants like alcohol, some other kind of a little 빨간 약 in Korea. Povidone iodine, we used to call it. So those kind of chemicals, even alcohol, that actually harms your normal tissue.
Oh, it does.
It does.
That 빨간 약 is not so good for you.
Not so good for you. It's used in a very specific situation, like dirty wound.
Okay, a dirty wound.
That's right.
Use the 빨간.
That's right. But other than that, those kind of alcohol, some of the disinfectants might impede the healing process. So just if you have some minor cuts, just so first of all, if there's a bleeding, gushing out of your fingers,
gushing,
that's the worst case scenario. But in that case, press it for maybe pressure 3 or 4 minutes, and if that doesn't stop, you gotta get yourself to the emergency room right away. But if it stops, just keep pressing, holding it, and then rinse it with clean water and put some bandage over it, and that'll do.
Okay. So, we busted that first myth. Okay, I have a question for you. 너무 음식을 많이 하고 피곤하고, what if you get a nosebleed?
Okay, nosebleed.
Yes, or somebody threw a ball at you.
Okay.
You get a nosebleed.
Okay. I used to do this kind of a method, but I realized that what I did in the past was kind of wrong. Okay.
Didn't we all though? Because I learned.
Okay.
Like pinch and then like back in the day, at least a few years back, 머리 뒤로 이렇게 하라 그러지 않았어요? That's what we were told.
Yeah, that's what we were told.
That's what my doctor told me back in the day.
Yeah. Do you think that's the right remedy or right first aid treatment?
Apparently not.
No.
Right? That's not the right way.
코를 막고 뒤로 하는 거는 no. It's a big no. No.
Yeah. Yes. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah. We are supposed to tilt our head forward.
Yes.
And
Bend
then
down.
pinch your nostril or soft part of your nose, and then wait for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, even I didn't know we had to do it for 10 minutes, but okay, now I know.
10 minutes. Because you know what happens when you tilt your head backwards?
I don't know about other people, but you can taste and feel the like 피가 넘어가지 않아요?
That's right. It doesn't stop. You're bleeding.
Right. It goes elsewhere.
It goes elsewhere, and some people might experience some kind of a choking.
Yeah.
You know, when you tilt your head backwards, it opens your airway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's dangerous.
The worst case scenario is asphyxia. Asphyxia is clogging your airway.
Right. Oh, no.
So the best way is tilt forward, and then pinch your nostril hard. And with ice would be a little bit another additive option for this case. So it might, it's the best way to, stopping your nose bleeding.
What about, because this is like so me. Like I even have this dark spot. Dr. Du, can you see? That's an oil burn. That's from cooking. And I think I didn't do first aid correctly. For real. This little, I don't know if you guys can see it. I have a dark spot.
Where did it happen?
Well, it happened 5 years ago during Chuseok. And I was doing some chun. And when I flipped the chun, 이게 튀겼어요.
That's right.
And then I was just like, oh, it didn't feel that bad. So I was like, oh, okay, I put a cold press on it and stuff. But I didn't go to the doctor right away. And now I'm regretting. I'm left with this dark spot.
Oh,
it's
I
an
see.
oil burn. Yes.
Yeah, oil burn. If there is some kind of a contamination like oil, your skin might be contaminated with some kind of oil. In that case, what doctors do is put some numbing cream and then rubbing like peeling your skin. That's what we do when I was working in the ER. And then put some kind of a saline gauze and then make your skin shiny. And that's the option. But you can do it right away. You can do it in the dermatology clinic, some kind of an aesthetic clinic, and then you can make your face shiny.
But I have a question.
Yes.
Because I've heard conflicting things. Some people say, oh, when you get a burn, put ice on it. And then I've heard, no, you're not supposed to put ice. You're supposed to put it under just not even cold water, but kind of lukewarm cool water. Which is correct?
Okay. Lukewarm cold water is fine.
That's the correct one, right?
No
Not ice pack.
Not ice pack. Because in order our cells to regenerate,
yes,
what those cells need, oxygen.
Oh.
Yeah. If ice comes in contact with our skin, it blocks circulation, microcirculation.
Okay.
So it impedes the regeneration process. So just really running with cold or lukewarm water, that will do. And some people might try alcohol. Alcohol, it breaks down all those cells in our body.
Yes.
So it's adding fuel to the fire.
Oh, because someone's asking, Tommy said, how about alcohol? No alcohol. Tommy 얼룩고양이였군요. Me, cat, 얼룩고양이. Yes. 놀리고 있어요 지금. We're talking about 화상, like a burn.
Yes, burn.
But he's like, okay, so no to the alcohol.
No to the alcohol. And also, the last thing before I go is whenever you experience some kind of falling, especially this is we are our Korea is getting into the aged society.
Yes.
Yeah, so elderly, our parents are very prone to a lot of fractures.
Ah, that's true.
So I've experienced some kind of very minor, trivial kind of incidents can break their bones. So in that case, don't hesitate to seek medical help.
Yes.
But always be act proactive when it comes to preventing or kind of a prevention of this kind of tragic, some kind of accidents.
Yeah, we don't want
any more
accidents. However, I do want to get real quick a couple tips from you before we wrap up on how to stay healthy and survive the Chuseok holiday.
Okay. Enjoy as much as you want.
Okay.
And Chuseok is supposed to be happy, family quality time.
But we don't want to overeat, right?
We don't want to overeat.
Yes.
So eat moderation is really important because one of the reasons why a lot of patients visit to ER is indigestion.
To overeating.
Yeah. So that's the best. Well, here is the quick that I want to give you some tips how to prevent ourselves from indulging our food. Eat in moderation, and savoring is really good because savoring it slowly can trigger your satiety center in our brain.
Yes.
So you might feel full after eating some portion of your food and stay hydrated. And then whenever while driving, take a break.
Yes,
frequently.
important.
And also before I go, holidays are supposed to be relaxing. But it's kind of easier said than done in some cases. So I don't want to force our audience to don't get stressed out. Instead, I would say, today is present. Every day is present.
Yes.
Holiday is going to be another present.
Oh.
So it's a gift.
It's a gift.
So enjoy your holiday.
Well, thank you for giving us such great tips and breaking some myths as well. Wishing you and your family a happy Chuseok.
Yes, you too, Catherine.
All right, everybody. This was Ask Dr. Ryu. And with that, we are going to wrap up our segment for hour number 1. We're going to be back with more in hour number 2. So we're going to leave you with this song. This is Knock by Kwonjina. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
아무리 생각 BFM 부산 영어방송.
랜드로버의 모든 것이 한 곳에 전시장과 서비스 센터가 만나 랜드로버 부산 센텀 컴플렉스 센터로 더 새로워졌습니다. 신차 상담에서 애프터 서비스까지 원스톱 서비스를 만나다. 랜드로버 공식 리테일러 HS 효성 프리미어 모터스.
기업체 사장님들 아직도 직영으로 식당 운영하고 계십니까? 미터급식과 도시락 전문기업 더 좋은 푸드에 맡겨보십시오. 운영비 절감 효과 확실합니다. 식대는 협의 후 맞춰드립니다. 지역 부산 경남 051-784-0877 051-784-0877.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Welcome to Busan. Let me show you around. Here you can find the world's largest musical in-ground fountain and the world's only UN memorial cemetery. Stroll along the coast and explore the largest mountain fortress in Korea. As well as all this, there are so many tourist attractions, beautiful exhibitions, vibrant culture, convenient facilities, and delicious foods unique to Busan. With all the beauty and charm of the amazing city of Busan, you'll find yourself right at home in this ever-changing tourism paradise. So stay with us a while. Busan, your #1 tourist destination. Your home, away from home. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
여러분은 영어 왜 배우시나요? 영어 드라마를 자막 없이 보기 위해? 아니면 해외여행지에서 현지인과 자유롭게 대화하기 위해? 더 넓은 세계와 연결되고 싶은 여러분만의 영어 여정이 있으신가요? 영어를 배우게 된 계기부터 나만의 영어 공부 팁을 BFM에서 함께 나눠보세요. 영어가 내 삶을 어떻게 바꿔놓았는지 그 특별한 이야기를 들려줄 주인공은 바로 당신입니다. 부산 시민이라면 누구나 참여 가능. 자세한 사항은 부산 영어방송 홈페이지에서 확인하세요.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Welcome back, everybody. It's now 8 o'clock. This is Spotlight News, the second hour of Morning Wave in Busan. President Lee Jae-myung and OpenAI Sam Altman discussed South Korea's AI future. President Lee Jae-myung met with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman in Yongsan yesterday and discussed expanding partnership in AI as South Korea seeks to become an AI hub in Asia. Samsung Electronics and SK Group each said they signed a letter of intent with OpenAI on cooperation with OpenAI's Stargate project after their respective chairs met with Altman earlier in the day. Meanwhile, the South Korean Science Ministry announced that it has signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with OpenAI to work together in fields of AI regional development, public service, and talent development, while providing support for the Stargate program with South Korean corporations. Court turns down review of arrest legality for Kwon Sung-dong and Han Hak-ja. The Seoul Central District Court turned down the review of legality requests for People Power Party lawmaker Kwon Sung-dong and Unification Church leader Han Hak-ja, saying that the requests don't have grounds based on suspect statements and case records. Kwon and Han are both implicated in a case where the Unification Church allegedly gave the lawmaker 100 million won in political funding for favors from the Yoon Suk-yeol administration. This means that the two figures will remain in custody. The special counsel is likely to indict Kwon today as his detention period ends during the Chuseok holiday. Government document storage system destroyed in data center fire. The government's cloud repository, known as G Drive, was among the 96 systems that completely burned down in the National Information Resources Service fire, wiping out work documents of the country's civil servants. This is expected to cause severe disruptions as some 191,000 workers at 74 central government agencies and committees saved their work-related documents on the system and is not backed up externally. The Interior Ministry said that about 858 terabytes of documents are stored on the drive as of August this year, equivalent to 2.2 trillion pages worth of documents. South Korea's exports jumped to all-time high in September. South Korea's exports rose by 12.7% in September from the previous year from strong performance in the semiconductor sector, reaching an all-time high. Government data yesterday showed an outbound shipment of $65.95 billion, breaking the previous record from March 2022 and the fourth consecutive month of growth. Semiconductors, auto, and ship exports led the growth with double-digit jumps, with increased exports to all major regions except for the United States. U.S. government shuts down. The U.S. government has shut down for the first time since 2018 after the Senate failed to agree on a last-minute funding bill, bringing many government services to a temporary halt. Essential workers will continue doing their job, although some are unpaid, as other government employees have gone on unpaid leave. Donald Trump has threatened mass irreversible firings of federal workers in case of a shutdown as Senate Republicans and Democrats blame each other for failing to pass the bill. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for Waglwa글. Haley's back.
Hello again.
Up on her seat.
Yes, up on my seat.
Well, we're going to get into our first story. The police arrested a man who was making and selling cigarettes in front of an elementary school.
Not even 100 meters away. And by the way, you cannot make your own, do what you will, but
you're not supposed
country.
to. Yeah.
But don't sell homemade cigarettes. So a lot of laws allegedly being broken. So this man in his 20s was apprehended by the police for allegedly running a handmade cigarette shop. So this man, back from 2021, allegedly hand-rolled these cigarettes, advertised his products online. Number one, you cannot advertise cigarette products. That's against the law. And then sent them to customers. His business was unregistered and therefore is in violation of the Cigarette Business Act.
Okay.
So a report was called into the police saying that there's a cigarette shop by a local 초등학교, an elementary school, and they were concerned about the kids' health. So the police, they staked out the site and then checked CCTV footage and found the store. They raided the store and upon that found 16 kilograms worth of tobacco leaves and 5 million won worth of illegal cigarettes. So the store, by the way, was just 90 minutes away from the local elementary school. it apparently smelled quite a bit because, I mean, as you can imagine, and it was quite loud with consistent mechanical noises.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So much in that story. It's like, so wrong. We're going to move on, though. The Labor Ministry released the average salaries across the country. So let's get to the numbers.
Right. So this is an average, which is different from the median income. So I don't want anybody to feel bad that, am I below average?
Okay.
Because that average is quite high. Average South Korean salaried worker made 4.21 million won per month. 평균 월급이 420만 원이었습니다. But for Seoul, this was far higher at 4.76 million won. So this is due to industrial breakdown. The capital, it does have a larger concentration of higher paying fields like IT, finance, insurance, and science of STEM fields, which do tend to lead to higher wages.
Yes.
And then if you look at that industrial breakdown, it makes sense that the second highest wages came from Busan, which of course has many jobs in the auto industry, in the shipbuilding industry, and chemicals, with their average wage coming to 4.75 million won. Again, I do want to throw down the average because what was it? It is University of Chicago. Some university had this crazy high average income for the geology major, and that's because Michael Jordan went to that university and majored in geology, which, so again, this figure includes like the richest people and BTS and Blackpink. So I'm just saying.
But I was thinking, 피디님, 우리 월급 올려주세요. She's saying me too.
All of us. All of us. We
Just
all,
saying.
I mean.
조금 그렇다.
I mean, for real. 많이 그렇다.
Right.
Anyways,
saying,
by
yes.
comparison, let's look at the lower end, Jeju, because it has a heavy dependency on the service and hospitality sector. It is very tourism heavy.
Yes.
This industry had the lowest income at 3.27 million won. So by working hours, the longest was at 780. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I was at 178.8 hours per month in Chungnam. Also fairly similar in Gyeongnam because these regions are both manufacturing heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Haley said, don't feel bad, but we all do now. Thanks, Haley.
Yep. And I couldn't read numbers, so
Yes.
maybe I can say bye to that race.
Well, let's go to the U.S. for our next story, where a rather strange meeting of top generals was convened by the Secretary of Defense.
Right. So, I guess Secretary of War.
Yes, because they've changed it, right?
Officially, unofficially. So questions have been raised since last week when Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, he summoned hundreds of generals and admirals worldwide without a reason. And by the way, this is highly unusual in even terms of military strategy and security to have the top-ranking generals in one room with the president and the defense secretary and make that room a very vulnerable target because the U.S. isn't without enemies.
Yes.
And then there was, again, no reason given at the time of the call-in. And now we know what went down. Pete Hegseth, joined by President Trump, reinforced his vision for the Defense Department, which has been renamed the Department of War. It was it was more of a campaign speech as opposed to one that you would typically see given to military personnel, let alone generals.
Yes.
It was against wokeness in the military, a return to warrior ethos. So this is like the larger line. What specifically was said? Well, Hegseth said, and I am quoting him directly, he doesn't want to see fat generals and admirals or overweight troops anymore. And that fat wording is directly from him, not me. He stated that every service member at every rank will be required to take a physical fitness test, meet the height and weight requirements twice a year. Again, it is completely unacceptable to see these generals of a certain body dimension leading commands around the country and the world. There were some other expletives that are thrown around that I'm not allowed to say on air.
Yes.
Yeah.
So President Trump, he also spoke at the meeting.
He did. So President Donald Trump threatened to fire top military leaders who disagreed with him. And this speech was long. It was quite long and let's say just unorganized. And basically he said, if you don't like what I'm saying, leave the room. But at the same time, there goes your rank, there goes your future, and quote, but you just feel nice and loose, okay? And that was what he said. He also, and further concerning statements was that Trump said U.S. cities could be used as a training ground for troops to fight against the enemy from within. And this raises concerns because what is it potentially declaring war against this enemy from within? And then at one point he asked the generals if they were okay with his "they spit, we hit" posture towards protesters. So that is a very thinly veiled threat against protesters. This was an overall a strange speech because Trump really repeatedly sought out more reactions and even applause from the generals, but customarily military personnel, they do not react to speeches and they're supposed to stay silent. The event has been received to mixed reviews, some questioning, number one, finances of is it really appropriate to spend millions of dollars because the generals were flown in from every single post around the world.
Yes.
And to just to talk about losing weight and shaving, to concerns about this enemies from within comment.
We do have one comment, not my comment, but Leslie commented. She wants to point out that the president is technically the commander-in-chief of like the armed forces.
He is.
He is. So.
Constitutionally. Is the commander-in-chief.
Yeah,
yes.
All those comments. We're just going to leave it there for now. We're going to go to another high-ranking U.S. official for this story and a rather odd gift he gave away in New Zealand.
A gun that's inoperable, but also illegal.
Oh.
Right, so why, how? All right, let's look at this. So this individual is FBI Director Kash Patel. He was on an official visit to New Zealand back in July. This is just coming to surface now to open the Bureau FBI's first standalone office in New Zealand. And during this visit, he apparently gave at least 3 New Zealand officials plastic 3D printed replica pistols. So the thing is, now this is in New Zealand, which has a very tight gun control law.
Yes.
Even possessing a pistol, so that's 권총, it requires additional permits. So in rural areas, having a rifle for hunting, that is permitted. Well, you do need, again, permits, but then a pistol requires extra permissions. An inoperable weapon, so one that does not work.
Yes.
If something could be done to make them operable again, they're treated the same as a regular gun.
Oh, okay.
So the pistols were judged by gun regulators to be potentially operable. Therefore, the police commissioner, learning that the gun that he's in possession of is illegal, he directed his subordinates to basically destroy it. And actually in New Zealand, it is uncommon to see officers even carry weapons. They do, they're not usually armed on patrol, but leave their weapons locked in their vehicles.
Right.
And these tighter gun controls came in after that fatal Christchurch shooting back in 2019 when a white supremacist killed 51 people.
Right.
So it wasn't clear what permissions Patel had brought in these weapons or modified weapons, and a spokesperson for the FBI told the press that the FBI would not comment.
Yes. Well, anyhow, we got to go to our final story. We have specific times for the Chuseok full moon. So I do remember, I think Taejin yesterday was asking, Kat, will we see the full moon?
You ask and I bringeth. So the Korea Astronomy and Space Sciences Institute said that the Chuseok full moon, that 보름달, will rise. All right, mark your calendars on October 6th. 5:24 p.m. Be at its highest around 11:50 p.m. So a little before midnight. And that's for Busan.
Yes.
In Seoul, that'll be a little later, 5:32 p.m. in Seoul, roughly around same time for the peak. The moon will be at its fullest. So like you will see the perfect 360 circle when it's opposite the sun on the following day, 12:48 on the 7th of October. However, because this is literally broad daylight, you won't be able to see the moon. So when you see that moon, the full moon on the night of Chuseok, it'll be slightly less full on its left side, but that's the best we're getting this year. The moon will quote-unquote set from Busan at 6:10 a.m. the following morning.
Well, thank you for all the details. I don't know if whomever needs to listen is listening.
Your wishes,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all the woggly stories. And of course, we'll check in with you during our broadcast tomorrow. So
Definitely.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, that was Haley. Let's get to your traffic and weather. Here's your traffic update. First up, let's talk about the congestion on Yeonsuro from Suyong to Mangmi intersection, and again between Busan Station and Shili three-way intersection in both directions. Next up, the top portion of Gwangan Bridge. It is backed up right there, and there's traffic on Chungnyeoldaero from Dongnae to Daesung intersection. It's also looking slow on the Dongso overpass from Kamdum ramp to the old Daegum toll gate. And also, in terms of the weather, it's currently 20 degrees Celsius under clear skies, with the daytime high expected to go up to 27. Clouds are going to roll in by the afternoon with rain forecast for Gyeongnam starting tonight. And tomorrow you can expect some light rain. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for your special interview. As you heard in Spotlight News, the U.S. government has shut down after Senate Republicans and Democrats failed to pass the government's spending bill. So those of you who are tuning in from the U.S., you've probably heard of this coming, and you know that services are affected right now. But for those of us here in South Korea, this concept of a government shutdown may be kind of difficult to really understand or grasp. What does shutting down the government actually entail? How did this happen? And what happens from here on out? Let's find out. We have invited back to the airways Professor William Muck, Professor of Political Science and Coordinator of Global Studies at North Central College. Hi, welcome back, Professor.
Always so good to be here with you.
Yes, the pleasure is all ours, of course. So if you can explain to our listeners why the government, the U.S. federal government, has shut down, because, we hear about it and some people just might not be able to fully grasp what this means.
It is rather a strange thing that this always continues to happen to the U.S. government. Basically, every fiscal year by October 1st, the government has to pass a budget, basically allocating resources. It goes through the Congress, and it has to be signed by the president. If that doesn't happen, there are no resources of the government, and essentially shuts down. And oftentimes, it's not this happens quite frequently, but usually they pass what are called continuing resolutions, where they basically say, all right, we'll keep the government open for a month or two as we continue negotiations. This time that hasn't happened, and so we are officially shut down, and there really is no government outside of essential functions.
Yes. So what's the backdrop to all of this? Is it basically the Senate Democrats refusing to, back this Republican bill, or how does it go?
Yeah, so each side, of course, has their perspective. The Democrats are arguing that the Republicans have gone with a much more partisan issue, much more dramatic cuts to government, and they see this as their chance to take a stand against the Republicans, against Donald Trump, specifically on issues of health care. And that's really what they've decided to say is important. They don't want to see any more cuts to the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, and specifically Medicaid and Medicare. Those two they're worried about as well. So they want to get the Republicans on record to say, we're going to protect and care for health care. Now, we'll see whether that works or not, but I think that's been the sticking point where the Democrats are saying we can't give up everything, and this is something we're going to go to bat for.
Yes, and you mentioned essential, government services. So first of all, which services are affected by the government shutdown right now?
Yeah, so the essential services are the ones that you can't get by without. So thinking about air traffic controllers, the military, Social Security, border control, all of those continue to operate, but they don't get paid, right? So they continue to operate, but they don't get compensated. And then a whole host of other jobs that are deemed non-essential, basically they go home, they don't do work and aren't compensated for it. And what's interesting is oftentimes when this happens, the expectation is all of those employees, and we're talking about over 1 million, will eventually come back to work. But the Trump administration has said if this happens, they're going to make dramatic cuts to the U.S. government workforce. So we'll see what happens. But I think that is the fear for many, that the Trump administration will use this as an opportunity to cut even more of the government services.
Yes, and we've heard about these U.S. government shutdowns before, but this one might be different from the prior ones. Can you explain?
Yeah, I think the partisan environment is so intense right now. It's really hard to find space for agreement. Democrat and Republicans are operating in such different spaces. And I think in particular, the Trump administration is sort of looking for this fight. So in the past, presidents tried to avoid this because in general, the president who's in power when the government shut down takes a hit. But I think the Trump administration is really seeing this as an opportunity. So there's less politicians looking for sort of an agreement or finding a way forward. That's what makes many people think this could be a long one.
And so in terms of this shutdown, this particular one, what's the answer? Well, first of all, how can this shutdown, well, we can't avert it now, but I mean, how can we get government services back up and running again?
So usually what happens is what are called continuing resolutions. They'll pass something that extends the government for 5 weeks, 7 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is. And they basically say, we're just going to do things as the way they were done before.
Okay.
And that creates some political space, right? Right now, there's so much tension and that it's hard to get any big deals done. So you pass a continuing resolution, it takes some of that stress off, and then you can work behind the scenes. The question is that even possible in this environment right now? And the U.S. political system is so divided, so partisan, it's hard to envision any kind of agreement moving forward. So that's what's scary about this particular timing.
So if we look at this from a political view, I mean, the ramifications, you mentioned that President Trump and his administration maybe actually be looking into confronting whomever I guess they view as, for lack of a better word, maybe their, enemy or people who oppose them. But what about for the other Republicans and the Democrats? I mean, I'm sure there are going to be winners and losers in all of this.
There always is. And again, usually it's the party that's in power. And when we look at the government, the U.S. government is controlled by Republicans right now.
Yes.
So traditionally, that would be bad for Republicans. But the Trump administration is so good at messaging. And Donald Trump every day is hammering home that this is about the Democrats. The Democrats are putting us into this situation. So they're very media savvy. And Donald Trump in particular is good at controlling the news cycle.
Yes.
The question is, can the Democrats be better? There isn't a clear leader in the Democratic Party, but they need somebody to step up who can push back and articulate their vision of why this is so important and making the argument that they're standing up for healthcare in America, right? That's a powerful message, but if nobody hears it, it doesn't matter.
Yes. And what kind of impact could the shutdown have ultimately? Because right now there's a lot going on, not just within the U.S., but the U.S. with other countries all around the world as well. I mean, the global economy, are we going to be affected by this?
Absolutely, right. The United States is central to all of the global economic developments, and this for a couple of reasons. One, the U.S. economy, there's some data coming out suggesting that it's stumbling a little bit. Employment's down a little bit. There are numbers that are concerning. So when you have a major government shutdown, that also impacts it. But the other thing is the world looks to the United States for leadership and stability.
Right.
And what we see is another example of the U.S. government not being up to that task. It really, it's sort of chaos. It looks like a dumpster fire, and global markets don't like that. They want to see calm and stability out of the U.S., and we're offering nothing of that right now. So I think that is likely to have a long-term ripple effect on just the degrading of the U.S. economy and perspective internationally.
Yes. So, of course, we're going to watch to see what happens. But thank you so much, Professor. And we have so many messages. They love when we have you on, so we appreciate your time and expertise.
Always so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. This was Professor William Muck once again with his take on the U.S. government shutdown. And this is a major story, as he rightfully, at the end, he pointed out how this is not just about the U.S. This does affect the global economy as well. All right, we're going to take a breather. We have a song request. This is from 최윤정님. 우주소녀 다영의 No.1 Rockstar 신청합니다. 오늘 첫째 딸의 25번째 생일이에요. 요즘 좋아하는 노래가 이 노래라네요. I wish I knew your daughter's name, but to 윤정님's first daughter, here we go. This is, first of all, happy birthday, No.1 Rockstar by Taeyong. Enjoy.
I wanna be the stunner, the face on every cover. Every time I close my eyes, see my name in shining lights, crowd cheering like thunder. So call me Little Miss Brightside, 'cause I've been thinking that wanna do the work, then I might as well be first, turning lemons into limelight. I keep on dreaming of the day when you scream my name. I'll be your number one rock star. Make me your number one rock star. And you're gonna love me like I am your number one rock star. Stuck in your head and in your heart. 'Cause you're gonna love me right. You love me right. Strike a pose in the mirror. I can picture that era. Here and when I sing, designer everything. And no, I don't even care a little bit if everybody's jealous. I know they wanna see just what I see through my rosy little glasses. And everywhere I'll be on repeat. I'll be your number one rock star. Make me your number one rock star. And you're gonna love me like I am your number one rock star. Stuck in your head and in your heart. 'Cause you're gonna love me right. And you're gonna love me right. I'll be your number one rock star. Make me your number one rock star. And you're gonna love me like I am your number one rock star. Stuck in your head and in your heart. And you're gonna love me.
Welcome back, everybody. And before we get to Vasana, you might have heard him stretching, making some weird noises. That's not me, that's him. Let's get to our text topic. How early or late have you arrived at the airport for a flight? And have you ever missed a flight? Or maybe a train is what we're talking about today. And I know people are so ready to get this holiday started, but we still got to get through Thursday today. Looking at some of your responses, here we go. Benny says, never been late to a flight. The reason, fully prepared, he says, always. But for bus rides, nope, meaning he's missed many a bus rides. I think that's a common thing, like missing a bus or a train. I've definitely done that. And, I still get confused on the subway. Just 3 weeks ago, I went the same subway ride I take from my school back home to Hyundai. I got on the wrong train, like the opposite. And then I was like, wait, these stations don't look familiar. 뭐지? And then I realized I was going the wrong direction. And then I felt like but that was like so far. And then I had to cross. Why are you laughing, Vasana? And then I had to cross and get back. I felt so stupid because I've been working at the same school for like 15 years. And I still get confused. Yes, directionless cat. Other messages streaming in. Sangyun says, like Sejin, I also missed a flight from Norway to Paris once. In my case, my suitcase got stolen, including my passport. That is terrible. So he says, I had to visit the K embassy in Oslo to get a temporary passport issued the next day. Well, thank goodness that there was a K embassy there and that you were able to get your business done. But that is terrible. Why do people steal stuff? I don't understand. But, it is a thing. So you got to be careful. And even in Korea, let's be careful. I know people think like we live in a land where we trust each other, and that is so true. And I'm so thankful. Like I have left my phone in many public places, and then I go, oh my gosh, and then I go back. I've never not been able to retrieve it. It's always been there, or somebody turned it in to the counter. That's like the culture we live in. So it's a good thing, but still be careful. William, who says, I've never missed a flight but missed the last passenger ferry leaving Angel Island for the port of San Francisco. So a California State Parks boat took me to Tiburon Island and caught a late ferry to San Francisco. You got lucky. But you know, like in K-dramas, 항상 그런 드라마에 나오는데요. Like you miss the last ferry and it's like there's always like a guy and a gal. 뭔지 알죠? 네. Oh, that's so romantic. But he was by himself, I think. So anyhow. Thank you for your messages. I digressed, I know, but you know, I love those K-dramas where there's that storyline, missing the last boat. I'll be back with Vasana. It is time for Buzz Breakdown.
I'm sorry, we had to say that together. I'll do it again.
Okay, it's time for Buzz Breakdown. Yes. And Vasana's here. Buzz Lightyear is here.
For your morning buzz.
Yes, I do have a question.
Sure.
Text topic time.
Yes,
have you ever missed a flight?
Many times.
Oh, you have?
Not a couple of times.
How about, have you ever, he's in a band. Have you ever missed a gig? Have you been late?
To a gig?
Yeah.
Me, no. The other band members,
oh,
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm always the early one. It's always the lead singer that's
But are
late.
you on the keyboard? So don't you have stuff to like haul as well?
Yeah, so that's why I get there early and set up.
I
Also
get
for
it.
practice, I'm going to go on a rant here. For practice, when we have practice at a certain time, we need to start practice at that time. So you must get there before practice so that you can start on time. But usually all the other band members arrive at that time.
Yes.
And then half an hour later, you start your practice out. That's a little... Yes, bone of contention. But yes, I missed a flight.
So you just wanted to vent.
I wanted to vent. I missed a flight from England to Korea.
Oh.
And it was a really stupid reason. I had my ticket, and for some unknown reason, I didn't think I needed to check in, so I was waiting at the gate.
You were there, but you didn't check. You're just sitting there.
I was waiting at the gate, and then they said, okay, so I went to the gate, and they said, oh, you haven't checked in, so I had to go all the way back.
And so you missed it?
I missed it because I had to go.
멍 때려. No more.
It was a 6 a.m. flight, and yeah. And so,
did you have to pay extra?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a surprising thing. They just said, okay, no problem. So they must have had somebody on standby to take my ticket.
Thank goodness.
And so they just booked me on the next day. So my sister was, I don't know if she was happy or unhappy, but she
was unhappy because you had to stay an extra day.
I don't know, because I did all the cooking when I was there. So she enjoyed me staying there.
I'm just kidding,
That was for my honeymoon, by the way. Honey, I'm sorry.
That was for your honeymoon?
Yeah, that was for our honeymoon.
Not good.
We went to England. Trains, I've missed a couple. Buses, and I was laughing when you were saying your...
Going the other direction.
Going the other. I've done that many times.
Many times.
Yeah, because I just on.
Yes.
I've done it actually driving as well because we moved house one time.
Yes.
And just on automatic mode to go home, like a homing pigeon. Then I arrive home and I go, I don't live here anymore.
What? You went to the wrong home?
I went to the wrong home.
Oh, 심하다, Vasana. That's bad.
Yeah, so my wife calls me Gilchi, Mr. Gil.
Gilchi.
Gilchi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Directionless.
Yes, lack of direction.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing all your fun stories, but we got to get into Buzz Breakdown. What do you have for us?
So I have a few comments that have been made in the last week from politicians. So I thought that they're decent comments, decent things. So the first one is delivery.
And who said that?
Keir Starmer
the
said
British
that.
Prime Minister.
The British Prime Minister.
Yes.
He used the slogan, delivery. I won't go into why he used it because it's rather boring, but I wanted to just reiterate, and to my students as well, because I always say this, the rule of three.
The rule of three.
The rule of three.
I know one.
Go.
Location. That's a common one, right?
맞습니다.
Yes, because it's so important when you're talking about like setting up a business.
Yep.
The location is everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. Another one that we might use, study.
Study?
You don't use that?
재미없어. How about money?
Okay, yeah.
Threes, right?
Yeah, well, that's a song as well. So,
Yeah,
and in the song, it's in threes as well. Money, money, money. Must be funny. And anyway, I'll keep my day job. Another one, practice.
Oh, yeah,
we always use
definitely.
that. Not study, but practice.
Right.
And in accordance with that, I always say practice makes better.
Oh, not perfect.
Nobody's perfect, and you can never be perfect. And our English is not perfect.
Of course, we strive, but we can never be.
Yes. So,
but I like that. Why the threes, though? Why do you think?
There have been. Do you want me to bore you with the facts? Or?
Just a little bit. I mean, not just the delivery, but why do you think the three sticks?
It's repetition. And also, our brain is wired for three. There have been many PhD studies done on this.
On this?
Yeah, that's why I said, do you want me to bore you with the facts?
Okay. I'm a little, interested, though. My interest is piqued.
You just read a few of those papers.
Okay.
But it's also biblical as well.
That's right.
Yeah. So you have the three entities. Yes.
The Father, the Spirit.
And the ghost.
That is the Spirit. The Son.
The Sun.
Yes, you forgot the Sun.
And the ghosts. Okay.
Yes.
So practice. So three. The rule of three, repetition.
Got it.
And if you repeat something often enough, even if it's a lie, some people believe it. As you know, with these days, a lot of lies have been going around, and because it's been repeated so much, people believe it.
Yeah, think like, if it's said enough or often enough that it might be true.
Like even ridiculous things like fan death in the past. It sounds ridiculous now, but in the past you would say if you sleep and cold air is going on you all night, it makes sense. But obviously
but it's
now
not.
It doesn't. Okay, number 2.
What's our next phrase?
See you in court.
Ooh, so litigious are we?
It's litigious.
Yes, I mean, especially in the States, I mean, everything is see you in court.
It's not just politicians. I've heard it so many times this week, even when you go on the internet. It's see you in court, even on Korean TV.
I actually was sued when I was 16 years old for $1 million. This is a true story.
$1 million.
Frivolous lawsuit. I was pulling out of my driveway. I was a newbie driver. I just got my driver's license. I had my, my first car. I was rolling out of my driveway really slowly because it's a driveway. You can't be, coming out of your driveway like, 30 miles per hour. And then a car was passing. It was my fault. I did tap the car. The other car was perpendicular, so I tapped the tire. Like I had already, stepped on the brake, and it was like a slight tap on the tire.
Yep.
And she sued me for $1 million. And so she wanted to take me to court, and I was 16 at the time, and my parents were like, no. So we,
You went?
James Letourneau, rest his soul, our friend and family attorney. He fought for us every step of the way. Yeah. And so she went to, the chiropractor in Beverly Hills, like literally, like across town. It was so obvious, like she was trying to basically juice us, right? Yeah. So we went to mediation. We actually went to court. I testified. Wow. And she did win, but
$10.
It was $300.
Oh, wow.
So we're like, hey, here's your $300.
Yeah, and Korea could have probably just given her $300 on that day, and she would have been.
But it was so stressful.
Yeah.
It was stressful. Yeah. So see you in court. I hate that phrase.
Yeah. You might not need to use this. Hopefully you never need to use this.
Yes.
But you might hear it on TV, and so, yeah. That's what it means.
That's right.
Literally see you in court. The next one. This one is new for me.
Yes.
And it's new because I usually use other words instead of it. And
what is it?
Sane washing.
Sane washing?
Sane washing.
What is sane washing?
So it's combining a lovely mashup of words.
Yes.
Sane.
Sane, opposite of insane.
Yeah.
Meaning you're
rational.
Coherent and yes.
And
sane.
then washing, which is kind of like brainwashing or whitewashing. Okay, so making something logical, reasonable, or rational. So it was when you make something ridiculous sound rational.
Oh, that's called sane washing. We see a lot of that.
Yeah. So, a lot of that these days. You gave examples just before.
Yes.
And I heard a phrase, beardo, so hopefully that doesn't become a sane washing phrase. So, for example, critics say the interview was sane washing the candidate's views by leaving out the extreme parts.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like kind of like brainwashing a little bit, but saying
a little
washing,
bit
but you're
brainwashing, but
a little bit in there.
The word I use is normalizing. So it's a little bit different to sane washing, but normalizing is when you make something that's not normal normal. But it can be positive, that word, normalizing. Whereas with sane washing, it's not that positive.
Yeah, it's pejorative.
Okay.
Not nice.
Next one. We're going back to Keir Starmer again.
Oh, you like Keir Starmer this week?
He has so many. He's the Donald Trump of politics over in England at the moment. I didn't think he was that bad, but some of these things. Antidote to division.
What does that mean?
Antidote to division. So antidote is
a cure.
Sorry. Cure. My New Zealand accent. Cure. So if society feels, and division obviously is being divided. So if society feels poisoned by divisions, then leaders might promise an antidote. Okay, so this can be positive or negative.
Okay.
Depending on the politician or what they promise.
Well, give us an example.
Education is an antidote to ignorance.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's positive.
Yeah.
So the more educated people are,
you learn more.
Then you see that what people are telling you is not true.
Sometimes, yeah.
Because at the moment, a lot of people are just believing what people tell them. If you see what's on TV, it must be the truth. We see this in America every week. So yeah, it's a very hopeful phrase, but it can be negative depending on who is providing the antidote and what the antidote is. So, for example, ICE at the moment, that's been offered as an antidote to illegal immigration, but it's becoming more divisive than an antidote, if you know what I mean. So it can be positive and negative, but hopefully it's more positive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so antidote to division. Okay, what's your next term?
Paper tiger.
What is a paper tiger?
It's a tiger made out of paper.
No, that's the literal meaning.
Oh, my Ajay, my goodness.
Yes, your Ajay just can't get it out of you.
No, yes. Okay, so this one is a really old phrase, and it dates back to many countries. I suppose China's one, but other cultures use it as well.
Oh, of course, tiger.
So it came back into the news recently. Oh, sorry, a paper tiger, so yes for the definition.
Yes.
It's something that looks dangerous, but is not. So
hence
tiger
the paper
is dangerous, but it's not. Yes, hence the paper. Paper, unless you get a paper cut, is not dangerous. So it was used last week by our lovely man of the week, the President of the United States, calling the next most powerful person in the world a paper tiger.
Who? Xi Jinping?
No, maybe the third then.
Okay,
the Russian president.
Vladimir Putin?
Yes.
Oh, so Trump called Vladimir Putin a paper tiger?
A paper tiger.
Ooh.
So I read that and then I had to fact check it. I looked up other articles and listened to him. And it's true. He said that. Oh,
that's what he said?
And I don't know. They must have had a phone call afterwards saying, I was just joking, whatever. But anyway, I don't know.
I think they've had a slight falling out.
Yes. So yes.
Slight. Yes.
So it looks scary, but falls apart. So I think the other one that I use is more bark, less bite. Yeah. So a lot of these little dogs that lots of people, little puppies that unless it's a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas bite. Oh my goodness. Anyway,
they're yappy though.
Very
little
yappy.
Dogs tend to be yappier than the bigger dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a stereotype, but I think it's true.
Yes. The small dog syndrome.
Yes.
But as I said, I have been bitten by a Chihuahua before, so they actually bite. It didn't hurt, but they bite.
Okay.
So that scary-looking dog turned out to be a paper tiger, for example.
Okay.
So it's a metaphor, useful metaphor, and you don't, as with all of these, you don't really need to use them, but it's good to know what it means when you hear it. Just like you were saying, what's a paper tiger?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, paper tiger.
Paper tiger. Tommy says, my mom called my dad, "You're a paper tiger," and she says, "You're a small paper tiger." So that's what Tommy says. I only read what's on my board.
That was about his wife, or
his mom called his dad, and then I guess she's basically calling Tommy, the person who sent it in.
Yeah.
You're just like your father, a small version.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything to that.
Like, move on.
Is the couch comfortable?
Is the doghouse comfortable?
Yeah. If you ever get married, men or women, make sure you buy a very nice couch. Anyway,
yes.
Smoke and mirrors is the
smoke
next
and
one.
mirrors.
Smoke
yes.
and mirrors.
What is this?
So this comes from the world of magic. When magicians, what do you think of the word magicians, by the way? Magic.
I don't know. These days, don't they use like magician, illusionist? I don't know.
Illusionist.
Right.
Yeah. They used smoke, so they throw something, literally smoke, so that they can mask whatever they wanted to do. And mirrors was the other one, to create illusion, which is what I call them, illusionists, because it's tricking your mind into thinking something else.
Yes.
So when we say something is smoke and mirrors, we mean it's a trick designed to make things look better or more exciting than they really are. I had a lot of governmental examples, but I thought I'd use something more closer to home. Influencers.
Influencers.
So when you go on to all these social media sites, everybody's life looks wonderful.
But it's not.
No. So they're on the top of the hotel in this lovely swimming pool.
Yes.
That's, what do you call it? Infinite.
The infinite pools.
The infinite pools, and they're selfieing themselves. If that's the word, selfieing, it's got to be a word.
Yeah, selfie.
No, but you're turning
selfieing?
it into selfieing.
I don't know, took a selfie. Whatever it is, yes.
Whatever it is, yes. It makes their life look glamorous.
Right.
And you'll think, oh, I wish I was like them.
But it's all
smoke and mirrors.
Because to get that perfect shot, can you imagine how many shots that they had to take?
Yes.
Hundreds, they say.
Yes.
Yes.
Hundreds. So, when people post things to make it look amazing, in reality, it's totally different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smoke and mirrors.
It can also be a little harmful when somebody is promoting something that is actually harmful. So when they try to make it out that it is a wonderful product.
When it's not.
When it's not.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's the bad part of smoke and mirrors. And then the government as well promising things and it's not.
Yes.
Yeah, so it can be mainly a negative term.
Yeah. Well, let's summarize all the terminology. So we first had delivery.
Delivery.
Yes.
Yes. Practice. See you in court.
Oh, I hate that one. Yes. What else?
$1 million.
No.
Sanewashing. Making extreme ideas look reasonable. Antidote to division. That's a cure for any kind of conflict.
Yes.
Paper tiger and smoke and mirrors.
Yes. So, well, I want to wish you a lovely Chuseok.
I thought you were going to say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, not yet.
No, but I wish you a Merry Christmas. Sorry.
Yes, and of course, we'll check in with you next week. So thank you, Vasana.
Happy Chuseok.
All right, everybody. That does it for Vasana. And before I let you go, I'm going to just read a few more messages. For example, Leslie says, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. Oh, so she says that she is always 15 to 20 minutes early for everything because she hates being late. So Kate also agrees with her, and I'm kind of in a similar, boat as Leslie and Kate as well. I do tend to be early. Like today, I was the first one into the office to get ready for broadcasting. So anyhow, tomorrow, we will have a special broadcast. I hope that you all tune in. And if you're curious, you're going to have to tune in to find out. So wishing all of you who are leaving for wherever you're going a very happy Chuseok. All right, let's get to our final song for today. 바람 기억 by 나얼. So enjoy this one and join us again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
바람 불어와 내 맘 흔들면 지나간 세월에 두 눈을 감아본다 나를 스치는 고요한 떨림 그 작은 소리에 난 귀를 기울여 본다 내 숨쉬는 커버린 삶의 조각들이 날 부딪혀 지날 땐 그곳을 바라보리라 부딪혀 지날 때 그곳을 바라보리라